You know, famous and yoga famous are kind of two different things. It's a little bit like being famous and being locally famous, or like a celebrity and a local celebrity. Um, Kino MacGregor is what we would call yoga famous. This is a very well known person, and I'm always really curious. Are these really well known yoga teachers? Are they well known because of the quality with which they teach yoga? One would anticipate that would be the case, right? But let's investigate. So today, what we're going to do is check out one of Kino's videos. We're going to take a look at her cueing or sequencing, and just sort of see what she's got on offer for us. This is going to be fun. Okay, my name is Colin. This is Yoga Mat Virtuoso. What I do is I kind of scour the internet for yoga classes and yoga videos, and I review them. And I take a look at what works, what doesn't, what could use a little bit of refinement, what might inspire other yoga teachers. And along the way, hopefully we can sort of arrive at some insights about yoga teaching as a profession that is useful not only for yoga students, obviously, but more specifically for yoga teachers. Okay, so like I said, she is Kino MacGregor, very well known. I would say sort of a modern yoga icon, and not only is she a certified Ashtanga Vinyasa teacher, but she's also the founder of her own brand. So Om Stars is her brand. It's an online yoga platform, and she hosts other teachers. In fact, I know a couple teachers that have worked with Om Stars before, and I've heard nothing but good. So I go in with this with an open mind. I know if you've watched some videos before, you may be like, yeah, this all he does is talk trash or whatever. But that's not my intent at all. I'm just trying to be helpful. I'm trying to sort of point some stuff out that I find interesting. So that's my view here. That's what I'm going for. Let's have enough of me, and let's let Kino take over here. Okay, Kino, the floor is yours.
And it's Kino here. Welcome to this Yoga for Flexibility class. When you want to practice with me in depth, be sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like this video, leave me a comment, and then check out my online channel, omstars.com. I'd love to see you there. Let's get started in a comfortable seated position and close the eyes.
She's got a pretty heavy vocal fry, hey? Seated position. She reminds me of Zoe Deschanel from New Girl.
Bring the hands in prayer position, a long, deep breath in. As you exhale, let's softly open the eyes. We're going to begin this practice.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Nice way to start a practice with an Om. I like that, actually. I find it very soothing. I find it sort of puts me in a yoga headspace. I would recommend giving people a little bit of a heads up. I wasn't expecting. I thought we were just going to take a breath or two at the start of the class, and I'm like, oh, okay, am I supposed to do that? You know what I mean? Do you want me to do it too, or am I just listening? I didn't know. So a little heads up that would be handy. Also, the practice of Om is not without a little bit of controversy. And if we think about accessibility, in particular, what I'll call like religious accessibility, doing an Om is invoking the name of God. Don't believe me? Look it up for yourself. It's in the Yoga Sutras. So it's invoking the name of God. Now, if I'm teaching someone who's an atheist, are they going to want to chant the name of God before a yoga class starts? Probably not, right? So I think as long as you go into that consciously as a yoga teacher, you're probably okay. Like you're probably in good. I don't think you need to kind of stress about that, but that is absolutely a factor that we should probably keep in mind whenever we're leading Oms in yoga classes.
Practice by releasing the neck, so stay in a comfortable seated position, and then let's drop your head over to one side and drop the opposite shoulder. Take a moment and kind of move forward and back until you can feel Some increased mobility, kind of returning to the head, the neck, the shoulder region. Then let's add the opposite arm in, moving the
That vocal fry is something else. Not only does she sort of vocal fry so hardcore, she also reminds me of my Auntie Linda a little bit, which is weirding me out.
find the space.
What's up, Auntie Linda?
4, almost there.
When we were kids, we used to call her Rich Auntie Linda all the time.
Let's go over
She wasn't rich.
slowly. Drop the shoulder down. Take a moment, rolling the head forward and down. Keep the action going until you can find, yeah, that's the spot that needs it for you. Then add in the arm, hand, letting those separate, and we'll stay for 1.
So that's actually a really good cue, is to sort of like just get people to move around until they find the spot that works for them. I like that. That's good. That is good stuff.
4, almost there. 5, let's let it release. Come back into the center. And then we're going to work with lifting the chest. So maintaining a comfortable seated position. If it's difficult to pivot the pelvis forward, you're going to grab a blanket and sit on the blanket. But let's see if we can pivot the pelvis forward. If you need that assistance, that's just a light little extra support underneath the pelvis. Then lift the center of the chest up as much as possible, rolling the shoulders lightly forward, and then taking the hands back behind. Inhale, let's lift the center of the chest up and explore, dropping the head back.
Okay, I thought that was just how she wanted us to sit, but it's not. It's like a little seated back bend. It's kind of nice.
For 2, 3, expanding the center of the chest.
I don't know
4,
why we're counting.
almost there. 5, slide yourself off of the blanket.
I don't know why we're counting. Why is that super duper almost there? Is that like really why are we counting?
If you were using them, and then slowly now rotate the tailbone lightly under and just let the head hang forward and down, stretching the neck in the opposite direction. We'll stay here for 1, 2, 3, touching the chin all the way down to the chest, maybe even giving yourself a little light, a very little light pull for 4, almost there. 5, good job. Come up, give the head a light shake.
Good
Let's
job.
move the blanket out of the way. Take a moment. Feel the blood circulation through the head, the neck, the shoulders. Then let's.
I wonder if she's talking like. I wonder if that good job was directed at me. Like if she was like, you're doing such a good job of providing commentary on this class. Good job. I think that's what she meant.
Dangling the torso down.
Holy freaking
Layering
moly.
your arms over
Holy moly. Look at that hamstring mobility. Shnikes. That's pretty good.
each other. We're going to take a hanging forward fold for 5 breaths. So we have.
That is not what my forward bends look like. I can tell you that much right now. Woo.
1, deep breath in, deep breath out. 2, drawing the navel in, letting it release. 3,
I'm not sure why we would draw the navel in a forward bend. Especially me. If I draw my navel in a forward bend, I'm going to be rounding my back even more. I suspect I'm not alone in that.
4, almost there. 5,
I know why she's counting now. That's the Ashtanga thing. Because they count in the postures all the time. I forgot about that for a little bit there. Yes, that's the Ashtanga. Your Ashtanga is showing.
release the hands, let's bend the knees, let's wrap the fingers around the big toes. Inhale, let's straighten the arms, all right? Let's have a big breath in. And then exhale, fold. And we'll stay for 1, steady breathing. 2, lean a little forward, try to straighten the legs. 3, shoulders away from the ears.
for 4, and 5. Let's bend the knees, taking the hands forward. Inhale, step back to downward facing dog. We'll stay here breathing. We have 1. Moving the shoulders away from each other. 2.
Again, like my downward dog pet peeve shows up. The instruction is to step back into downward dog. That's what you get. So if somebody has taught you how to do downward dog, you're in luck. If not, figure it out, I guess.
And 5. Let's switch the gaze forward. Step your left foot forward. We're going to pivot over to the side for the wide leg position. Come up onto your fingertips. Inhale a big breath in and exhale here. Slowly reach your hands back behind you. Interlace your fingers. Inhale a big breath in and then exhale, fold, leaning forward. Eventually, head reaches towards the ground, but don't push. Just get the feeling. Palms reaching towards each other. If this is difficult, you can hold on to a strap and lean forward.
If this is difficult,
so that we can get more space. All right, we'll stay here for 1. Your hands don't touch.
Kino, difficult is not the word.
3.
Biomechanically impossible, I think, is what you were going for. I don't think a strap is going to help me.
5. Inhale, we'll come halfway up. Exhale, hands on the ground. Stay there.
Her practice is magnificent, though. You got to give her that. Wow.
To a nice wide goddess squat. All right, knees out to the side. Hold on to the knees, and we'll stay here. You can go a little side to side for a moment. All right, that's good. And we stay engaging the legs. We have 1. Try to turn the feet out completely. That's good. 2. The navel is in. Deep breaths. 3. 4, almost there. 5, let's turn it up a notch. Let's drop that right shoulder forward and work the inner thighs. So we've got 1, 2, the navel in, the butt back a little bit. 3, 4, almost there. 5, and back to the center. Drop that left shoulder down, and we have 1. Steady breathing. 2, 3, almost there. 4, and 5. Straighten the legs, take the hands down. Inhale a big breath in, and then exhale, forward fold, top of the head points to the ground.
She really likes almost there, like the count, almost there. It's odd. It's like I feel like I'm on a road trip with my dad. Almost there. Yeah, I feel like any second from now, she's going to tell me to shut up. That's enough. We're almost there.
Almost there. 5. Inhale, lift the center of the chest. Exhale here. Bend your knees, walking the hands forward. And then exhale, let's take a step back and we can sit all the way down. All right, bring your feet together. Let's glide that blanket underneath the hips for a moment. And this is the place where if your knees are very elevated or if there's any pain on the outsides of the knees, we do want to place the blocks underneath the knees to provide better support.
It's wild to me that this is the place. This is the one where we need some props right now. Like that forward bend you were doing. You don't need to put your hands on blocks or anything. Don't worry about that. But in Baddha Konasana, boy oh boy, look out for that knee pain. But people don't have knee pain in this pose so much as it's just like their knees end up by their armpits, right? Because they can't sit that way. And blocks are really probably not going to. I'm wondering if she's going to change the angle of these in a way that's like maybe a bit more helpful.
Okay, so you can determine whether or not you need those blocks, and then we'll hold Baddha Konasana for 5 breaths. Lift the center of the chest and deep breathing. 1, nice and easy. 2, 3, 4.
Almost there.
5, let's pivot forward. Inhale, a big breath in. And exhale, slowly slowly sending the chest forward. 5 more breaths. And try to find that pivot inside the pelvis. So we're going for a little bit of an anterior tilt of the pelvis. It's going to feel like the pubic bone moves back and the sitting bones move back. We'll stay for 5 breaths. If you don't go all the way forward, it's okay. Just get that pivot deep in the center of the pelvis. 3. Engage a little bit the legs. 4. Keep drawing the navel in. 5. Inhale. We'll come all the way up. Let's slide the blanket away.
Engage a little bit the legs. Okay, I don't know what that means. What muscles? Just all of them? Just engage them? And B, I don't think that's going to help either. I don't know who Kino's been teaching. You got to come up to Canada, Kino. Come on. Come on up here where the weather's cold and see how many people are folded forward like that.
If we've had that under. Rotate your tailbone under. Tuck the chin in and then exhale, round the back to fold.
No, that's what everyone was doing to begin with. There's no need. No one had their tailbone back, believe me.
5 more breaths. 1, steady breathing. 2, 3, keep breathing. 4, and 5. Inhale, we'll come all the way up. Exhale here, release your feet, and draw the feet towards each other, and then let's roll the spine down. All right, we're going to
Just being picky, but that was your knees that you put back towards each other, not your feet. Feet were already together.
roll gently down. Okay, let's stay here for a moment.
Yes, please.
The sacrum on the ground, the feet a little bit away from each other. Feel the nervous system releasing.
Look at those. Look at the hedges and the tree. Look at this. That looks like a painting. Where is she? Is that your house, Kino? Because that's gorgeous. That is so pretty. Look at that tree. Sign me up, please.
Then slowly inhale. Let's draw the knees up into the chest. And then straightening the legs. Staying here for a few breaths as we straighten the legs. Letting the femurs settle into their sockets. Letting the legs
Mine are already pretty settled. I don't think.
get comfortable in this position. Then let's slowly separate the legs for the reclining straddle. And we'll stay here for 5 breaths. This can be very intense, so if you need to support the legs a little bit from underneath, you can take support from the hands, or we can take the blocks or the blankets and place those underneath your thighs.
Blocks and blankets. I'm thinking more like golden retrievers. Maybe 2 golden retrievers would probably be good. Big one. Bernese mountain dogs. I think I need 2 Bernese mountain dogs, please. Have you got that in your prop room?
It's only 5 breaths, so we'll stay for 1, 2, keep breathing, 3, easy does it, no stress, 4, almost there, 5, slowly bring the legs back together, bend the knees again into the chest, this time keep them a little bit open, point the soles of the feet up to the ceiling, reach up, happy baby pose, and we'll hold for another 5 breaths. 1, give a little bit of weight to the hands.
That again, it's an Ashtanga thing, I know, but that like long count. 1. It's an Ashtanga. That is for, yeah.
Rounding the back, so you don't want to squeeze from the abdominal muscles, but let the abdominal muscles find a point of release. And you can play around with how wide apart you want your feet or how close you want your feet to be together. All right? So let's stay here for 3 more breaths, letting the body release. Feeling the movement through the inner thighs. 2 more breaths. Let's do 1 more breath, and then we'll straighten the legs. As you straighten the legs, let's change the hand position and hold on to the heels. And we'll stay for 1. If you can't hold the heels, just hold anywhere that's comfortable for you.
If I can't hold the heels,
Over round the torso.
don't over.
3.
Who can do this? Who can do this? I'm serious. Here, look, I think we have a bit of a situation here. Okay, and here's the situation. I've said this before, but here we go again. If you are a bodybuilding coach, okay, you're a weightlifting coach, let's say, and you bench, what do you bench? 160, 170, right? You got it's a decent bench that you got, right? So you can push some weight, and now you're coaching, now you're teaching, you slapping 160 up on that bar for your students. Is that what you're doing? It's like I can do it. So you there now you just do it. Just go. It's fine. No, you would not. You would start at a place that is dialed all the way back. Okay, this is the yoga teachers have an issue with this. Okay, and I don't want to beat it to death. So I'll try to be quick about it. But like. One of the main things that we kind of struggle with, I think, in yoga is this idea of what is a reasonable amount to ask of somebody. And what's happening here is it's just not reasonable. And if you want to demonstrate something like that and be like, look, in the event that you can actually do something like this, then of course go ahead and do it. That's kind of fun and awesome, right? But like, don't just demonstrate that as though that's something that would just happen, because that's clearly not something that happens. You know what I'm saying? It is. It's like if you're a baker, you bake pastries. You don't just sort of like get somebody into the kitchen and teach them some incredibly advanced technique with baking, right? That requires a lot of precision and timing, and finesse, right? You wouldn't do that. You'd just be like, let's make some Yorkshire puddings and get on with it. Okay, get the Yorkies okay first. Get them Yorkshire puddings puffing up real nice. And then maybe we'll look at some other stuff. But my goodness, holy Moses!
Keep it easy.
Keep it easy.
4, almost there. Last breath. 5. Let's bend the knees. Reach down, interlace the fingers around the feet. Stay here for a moment with the knees back to that Baddha Konasana shape. And then exhale, let's just rest the feet on the ground. Extend the arms and legs, rest for a few moments. Let the hips release. You can give your feet a little shake so that release comes all the way through the pelvis. You can give the pelvis a little shake, the torso and the shoulders and the head, and then rest for a moment. Let all the work of the flexibility practice integrate with the understanding that it takes consistency. So if you found this practice difficult, come back to it and do it over and over again so that your body can start to slowly acclimate to the practice. A long, deep breath in. And as you exhale, let's reawaken slowly, bending the knees and the elbows. Drawing the knees up into your chest. As you exhale, let's roll over onto the side. And inhale, we'll come all the way back up. Find a comfortable seated position. Close the eyes again. Let's bring the hands together. A long, deep breath in.
I was ready for it that time.
As you exhale, let's softly open the eyes. Thank you so much for joining me on this practice. May you be happy, may you be peaceful, may you be filled with love.
That's a nice way to end, as opposed to namaste. Just may you be happy, may you be peaceful, may you be filled with love. That's really nice. I like that a lot. But I want to go back to something that she said. I'm gonna close with this, okay? Sequence was really straightforward, really simple. So I don't need to get into the sequence right now. But here's what I want to get into. She said something kind of interesting at the end. She was like, this requires consistency. This requires patience. So if you don't get it at first, keep on doing this video. Okay, I got a problem with that. I do. I really, really do. Here's my issue. There's an assumption there that if somebody continues to do it, they will get it. That's a big assumption, and that's an assumption that is made by a lot of Ashtanga practitioners, represented by a quote from Pattabhi Jois. Pattabhi Jois said, "Practice and all is coming." He also said, yoga can be done by anybody. It doesn't matter. You're sick, you're injured, you're old, doesn't matter. Anybody can do yoga, except lazy people. Lazy people can't do yoga. Now, break down those two quotes. Break them down. You know what you get? I'll tell you what you get. There is an assumption that if you practice enough, you will get it. And I'm here to tell you that is not correct. That is simply not true. There are a number of postures where the shape of your bones, the proportions of your limbs relative to your torso will mean you will never do that pose. You can practice that video all day, every day for the next 30 years and not do the thing with the feet up by her head. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. You're dealing with bones, right? You're not dealing with soft tissue. Some of this is not a stretching issue. There's a bony stop issue. And failure for yoga teachers to understand that really leads to what I think amounts to essentially gaslighting. We end up unintentionally gaslighting our students and saying, if you only practiced enough, you would be able to do this. Why can't you do this pose? Because you're lazy, because you don't practice enough. And to me, it kind of represents a large part of the reason why people stop doing yoga. Okay? So many people, I think, have taken a yoga class at some point in their life and then have said to themselves, I'm just not getting it. The teacher demonstrates these things with ease. They flow into and out of these postures, and I try, but I can't. Okay? All it would take would be one simple acknowledgement. You might not be able to, let's say, put your heels on the ground in downward dog. Maybe the bones of your ankles are built in such a way that getting your heels down to the ground is impossible. You might not be able to do a squat, right? There are some things. You might not be able to get your stomach onto your thighs in a seated forward fold, okay? There are some things that are simply not going to happen for you. That's not discouraging. That's realistic. And when you tell people that, what happens is they go, well, that's why. And now I will set for myself different goals. Okay? I won't have that pose as a goal and then be disappointed when I can't get there. I won't do that. Okay? I'm going to set a different goal, a reasonable goal. Okay? Let's come back to Kino just for a second, because that was maybe like a little bit of a rant, but just quick. Global yoga icon. What I'm seeing is somebody who is fabulously mobile. Gorgeous practice. That is, those postures are the real deal. This woman she's a mover. Okay, seems so nice just seems so nice and so just like there's a sing-songy quality to her voice. She seems extremely friendly and welcoming, okay? But let's not confuse friendly and welcoming for accessible. Okay? Just because you have a friendly, welcoming tone, that does not mean your class is accessible, does it? No, it does not. Right? It is what you teach and how you teach. Okay? That's how you get to accessibility. That's how you make people feel like I can do it. I can do this, because you give them the tools to be able to do it. And maybe she does. And maybe it's just not present in that video for whatever reason. Fair enough. Don't come at me, Kino fans. All I'm doing is reacting to what I'm seeing. That's it. But that is what I'm seeing. Fantastic practice. Beautiful. What am I going to say? I can't do that stuff, right? So it's amazing. Seems really, really nice. Do those two things mean top-notch yoga teacher? Maybe it does for you. Not for me. Not for me. But I'm going to go now. I'm going to check out some other videos and just see if I can get to the bottom of this, because there's got to be something there. I am a believer in students, okay? When students elevate somebody and make them really well known and really popular in yoga, I always assume it's for a reason. It's not for no reason. There must be something there. So I'm going to go check it out. And maybe we will review another Kino MacGregor video at some point that will give me a little bit more optimism on the thing. Yeah. If this video is like helpful or interesting or useful to you in any way, make sure you give me a like. Give me a comment down below. Would love to hear what you think of Kino MacGregor. Would love to hear your thoughts on what makes yoga teachers popular. What turns a yoga teacher into a brand or into a yoga icon in your mind? What is it does that for you? Okay, I would love to hear that. Let me know, please, in the comments. Hit me up. I would also love it if you'd subscribe to the channel and share this with yoga teacher friends, with people you know in teacher training, with yoga studios. This is I feel like the kind of material that rises our level of understanding of yoga teaching as a profession. Peer review, to me, so important, so crucial. Every profession has it. We lack it in yoga, and that's what I'm hoping to bring with this. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Yeah, don't forget, give me that subscribe. Yeah. Take it easy.